Yapping.
Hello, this is Erica,
And Edgar.
and we are the Yapping Schnauzers. We entertain you with yap-worthy stories we find around the web. Today's theme is emotional intelligence versus emotional damage. The first story is my aunt kept borrowing my makeup, so I let her borrow the wrong one. My aunt's been staying with us for a few weeks while her place was getting fumigated. She was supposed to be here just for a weekend, but you know how that goes. Somehow it turned into her moving into our guest room and treating the whole house like her personal shopping mall. She's been helping herself to my clothes, my snacks, and most annoyingly, my makeup. I told her nicely, more than once, please stop using my makeup. That stuff isn't cheap, and you don't even ask. She'd just laugh and say, oh, come on, you have so much, you won't even notice. Well, I noticed. Every time. So one day, I switched out the label to an old concealer tube with one that matched my current shade. The old one was too light, borderline ghostly. I left it sitting on top of my vanity like bait. Sure enough, I heard her in the bathroom later that day, humming while doing her face. Didn't say a word. Next week, she shows up at a family dinner wearing full glam and her under eyes are blinding, like glow-in-the-dark white. In every picture, she looked like a raccoon in reverse. That's kind of funny. I can imagine the pictures. She pulled me aside and asked, did you change something in your makeup? Mine looked weird. I just smiled and said, oh, maybe it wasn't your shade after all, but I'm sure you won't even notice. She stared at me for a second like she was trying to figure out if I was messing with her. Then she huffed, muttered something on her breath about people being sneaky, and stomped off to her room. She still stays with us now and then, but funny enough, she hasn't touched a single thing of mine again.
That's crazy, taking the snacks. that's where I mark
You draw the line?
Yeah.
Of course you would care about the snacks because you're a big foodie, but...
But like overall, yeah, I mean, at least ask. That's like the minimum you should be doing if you're gonna be using someone else's things when you're a guest in their house.
Exactly. Like, for example, I would say our nephew, well, my nephews, your nephews are very good at asking what they want, and they ask before they grab it, just because they know as a child you should ask. I mean, I can't imagine a grown adult not just grabbing whatever she wants and not in somebody else's house. Like, it's crazy to me.
Exactly, yeah.
The top comment is, you handle that quite cleverly. In the future, keep a bottle just for when she visits that you can leave for her to find and use. Keep playing that game. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that she learned her lesson after this.
Yeah, I think she was just assuming. Well, I mean, after that moment, she probably didn't trust like the makeup anymore because I feel like she felt like Opie did like something worse to the makeup bottle, but no, she just switched out the shade.
Probably. It's just annoying too because just because she has a lot of makeup, it doesn't mean that, or you have something a lot of, like, collection or whatever. It means that you won't miss one thing. Like, it's your possessions. Nobody should be, oh, I could take it. So I'm glad she learned her lesson, and I don't think she's the asshole in this one.
Yeah, so you found where to do that.
Yeah, she did good.
Yeah, I don't think she's like the biggest asshole, but it's like it's understandable given that she's told the aunt so many times.
Yeah, nicely too.
So the next story is titled, "Am I the asshole for telling my parents that the transportation wasn't my problem after they gave my car to my brother?" Okay, so that title was a little bit clickbaity, but it was their car that I have maintained and paid the registration and insurance on for years. They have every right to give it away. My mom doesn't drive, and my dad had his license taken away after a DUI. I live a couple of blocks away from them, and I work from home. I don't really need a car except for getting groceries and running my folks around. My dad's car was a Jeep Grand Cherokee that was only 3 years old when he lost his license. It was fully paid off, so I just took over paying for insurance and registration. It was nice to have a car for errands and for running errands and for running around my folks. And it's a much nicer car than if I would have gotten one for myself. My brother was over a couple months ago and he was pissier than usual about me getting a free car. He was hollering about how I'm the golden child and my parents give me everything. So my dad told me to give the car back so he could give it to my brother since it would be fair because I got to use it for free for 4 years. Like I said, it's not my car and I really don't need one. My brother lives across town, a good 45 minutes away. That's a big ass town.
For real.
And I live 5 minutes away. My mom called me on Friday a couple of weeks ago to remind me that she had a hearing aid appointment. I reminded her that I no longer had a car. She ended up taking a cab because my brother was at work. My dad called me to ask me to come over and talk. So I walked my dog Bruno over to see them. My dad said I had 4 years to save up to buy my own car and he wanted to know when I was going to buy one. I told him I don't need a car. I'm happy getting Walmart to deliver my groceries because I'm not like my mom and insist on inspecting every stalk of celery before it goes into my cart. Both of us live on a good bus route that takes us downtown if we need to go to the doctors or anything like that. I said I wasn't planning on buying another car. He said he hoped that I'm not expecting him to buy me a car just to run errands for them. And then I said I don't need a car. I work from home. My clients see me in my home. My salon is on the main floor of my house, and I have a nice basement suite for me and Bruno. I order supplies that get delivered. I order groceries that get delivered, and I order other stuff from Amazon that gets delivered. I don't need a car or the expenses of maintaining a car. I told him to get my brother to run them around since he has a car now. My dad had the decency to look embarrassed. He said that my brother took our mom for groceries once and acted like it was a huge imposition and made her cry. So they didn't want to ask him for favors. I pointed out that they could just ask for the car back, but that was also a non starter. I said that I would not be getting a car, but if he wants, I would split the cost of a car share membership. That way, I can take a bus to the nearest car and use it for a few hours when they need a ride. He agreed, but he thinks I should pay the whole thing. I reiterated that I don't need a car, and that if he keeps it up, I won't even split the cost with him. He thinks I'm being ungrateful and childish because I had an almost new car for free for 4 years, and I just roll my eyes now.
I mean, I think the dad should have thought a little bit more strongly about what the decision of giving the car to the other brother and what the drawbacks were. Like, he didn't really think it through. He just, was like feeling the moment and felt bad that he was like the golden child or whatever, or that they were like favoritism or something like that. But in the whole chance, he lost his way of transporting, him and his wife.
Yeah, he like clearly didn't think about like the whole situation. Like the other like son just like basically guilt tripped him for a free car, and now doesn't even have the decency to like help them out.
No,
After getting like such a big gift, because like a car is like it's like a very big expense for most people. And
yeah.
I think the brother either out of malice or because he didn't know the full story, just assumed like his brother OP had the car for free, and like just like a nice like he said, like he thought that like he was getting favoritism, but the actual situation was that OP was the chauffeur for the parents.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason he was the chauffeur is because he's literally 5 minutes away from them. So it's not much of an inconvenience for him to help them out or be like, okay, I'll take you to doctors. And especially if he works from home, I guess it's completely different. It's more, they could go around the schedule or their appointments and help them out.
Yeah.
So the other brother lives 45 minutes away. So it is a hassle for him to drive 45 minutes, drive them around, and then go back home. Like, obviously, sure, he shouldn't have treated his mother that way, made her cry and all that. But, I mean, there's a different situation for them. He also works. He doesn't work from home. So it's like, he didn't, if he has his own job, I'm sure he has his own car, right? Because how is he going back and forth anywhere, especially if he lives 45 minutes away?
Exactly, yeah. The brother probably has his own car, so they just gave him another car.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Well, I mean, he didn't think it through, and now he just has to go with the consequences. And I think it's unreasonable for him to be like, you should have gotten a new car.
I know, yeah.
No,
especially
he doesn't.
since OP has like no, like he didn't need a car.
I mean,
I mean, of course, it's nice to have it, but like in his situation, he knows his way around. He can take care of himself, and he works from home, so he doesn't really require all that work.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's nice to have a car. I think it's necessity depending where you live.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, if you live here or wherever we live, it's you pretty need a car if you're trying to get somewhere, anywhere. I mean, we do have buses, but they don't take you everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's also in case of emergencies. You know, we need to go to the hospital, something happens, we take the car and go. We don't have to wait for an Uber. We don't have to wait for a taxi or whatever it is. You know, it's in case of emergency. It's not always just nice to have. It's sometimes a necessity, honestly, depending where you live.
I mean, in this person's case, it doesn't seem like he really needs it. Like everything that he needs is in walking distance or a short bus ride.
Yeah.
So in his case specifically, he doesn't really need it. And then it depends on like the city, like where we live. You do need to drive around, but it's just because like of how Connecticut is. Like everything you need to drive at least a town or two over if you want to get like Walmart or something like that.
Yeah.
But in some other places, they have like each town would have something that like it would have everything you need. So it really depends on like how everything is structured.
I'm really just talking about emergencies, you know? That's all I'm thinking. Like, what if his mom falls? What if, I mean, they call the ambulance, or what if something happens that's not as urgent that you would call an ambulance for, but you need to take her somewhere? You know, you're going to have to wait for it over or something like that. That's when I would think you would need a car, like necessity. But yeah, I mean, for regular living life with him, he doesn't need it. So the top comment is, not the asshole. You running them around and doing errands was payments for the use of the car. The fact that your dad idiotically gave the car to your brother without thinking the repercussions is on him and only him. Exactly.
Yeah, they lost everything. Well, OP's parents like lost everything, like their way to get around.
Yeah, now he has to invest for half of the payment of the car. Because OP is not going to pay for all that. Because he doesn't really need a car.
Exactly. And like a car, like even used cars nowadays are a lot more expensive. They're like on average, at least around here, it's like $7,000 for a used car.
For a used car, $7,000?
Yeah, that's the average.
Oh, that's crazy. I wouldn't even recommend used cars because it's just not, it's not for the long run. If you want a used car and you want it to last 2-3 years, okay, go ahead, you know, but
yeah, most of the time people just get used cars either because like it's their first car, like as a teen driver, or because they need a way to transport around cheaply. And like to them, 7,000 is not more doable than like a full price car.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it is hard to own a car. That's why you get loans and you pay, you know. But then again, you have a lot of people that just, what do you call it, when they just, like, they have a lease. They have a lease, and so you have it for 2 years, and then you get a new lease, and you keep paying. But then you keep paying every single time for the same car, or for different cars, and it's never yours. So, I mean, it's good and bad. I mean, it depends on what type of car you're going to get to. So,
I'm not a car person.
You're not. But, I mean, I own my car, and I finally finished paying it off, and it was a long time. But it's, I mean, now I just pay my taxes, and that's it. I don't pay monthly, so.
Yeah, my car is older than most people.
Yeah, your car is old and you need to fix it.
Well, maybe someday.
Someday you need to fix it because you'll be using my car and I need it.
So your final verdict on OP?
I would say, I mean, he's doing the best he can to help his parents. And the fact that he was on beck and call for them and they didn't appreciate it and gave away the car. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, OP isn't even being petty. Like, I'm
No.
sure he's like upset about the situation because, like, yeah, for him a car was like nice to have, but now like he doesn't have much obligation to like to do anything else.
Oh, to get another car, but he's being still a nice son and being, you know, okay, I'll get a car if you pay half because it's fair.
He's trying to help where he can, but like not just like, oh, you made a mistake and now I had to pay for it fully.
Yeah, no, the father should have thought more thoroughly about his decision. All right, so the next story is, I accidentally started an early morning running club. So I've been trying to get my life together a bit and started going for early morning runs. I'm not some fitness freak, like I just needed something to clear my head before work. I usually leave around 6:30 a.m., with my headphones in and a simple hoodie. Anyways, a couple weeks ago or so, this guy from my building saw me heading out and asked if I was going for a run. I said, yeah. And he was like, cool, maybe I'll join sometime. I didn't think he meant it, to be completely honest, but the next day he was out there waiting for me like at 6:35 or something. So I was like, okay, sure, let's go. Now it's been 2 weeks and somehow we're up to 5 people. One guy brought a friend and a woman from the second floor joined as well. Someone even made a group chat and I just got added to it like I'm the organizer. Someone called it a club yesterday. It's hilarious because 2 months ago I was still in my robe most mornings, like sipping sad coffee, messing around and rolling riches, trying to chase a dopamine hit before work. And look at me now. LOL. I'm not like a crazy freak when it comes to running, but like now I feel like I have a responsibility and I have to show up because I started all of this. Life is crazy. Isn't that wholesome?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. And especially like when you have like a bunch of people like running or just doing things together, it like pushes you to actually do the thing. Because when
Yeah.
you're alone, you often like, yeah, if you have like the self discipline for it, you can like go a while. But if you don't, you just like maybe try for a few weeks or even a few days, and then and then it's like not a habit anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I think he just woke up one day and like, let me just run. And, he changed his life and other people, trying to be fit. So I think it's just, maybe take that morning run that you think you want to do. You never know if good things will happen or if you meet somebody or you meet friends. Of course, be aware of your surroundings and stuff, but it's better to be in a group or, with somebody else, but definitely running. Like runner's high is amazing. Like you should definitely running is amazing. You should go for it. Just go for that run.
TBH, if someone said, "Hey, I want to join you in your morning run," I'd be like, "Sure," and then they'll be waiting for me at 6:30. I'd just like wait another hour, and wait for them to wait for them for not so we're not running together. Because I like doing things alone when it comes to that sort of thing. So if I was in that situation, that club would never be. I never have started.
I like people. I mean, it depends. Like if I get a good vibe from you and I'm like, all right, you want to run together? Sure, why not? I mean, if we vibe together, we're good. But if we don't, I'd be like, nah, that's kind of, he seems kind of creepy. I'm just gonna stay in my apartment.
I like, especially like before morning run or just like that sort of thing. I'd rather be alone.
So the top comment was, I just felt like running. And he made like the whole situation happen of a running club. I think that's amazing. It's a good way to get out your comfort zone, I would say.
I can think of other ways, but yeah.
Yes, you're antisocial. I get it. I mean, I'm pretty much, I don't want to say I'm like a social butterfly, but I, here and there.
So the next story is titled, "A Regular Kept Spoiling a Show I Was Watching." I used to work in a comic shop, and we had a lot of regulars who would come in every week who I only got to know fairly well. There was one guy who had mentioned he liked Stargate. So one week he came in and I mentioned to him that I started rewatching Stargate from the very beginning. I also mentioned that I'd never seen the last 3 seasons or any of the spin offs, so I was excited to see them. The first thing he says to me is, "Oh, so you don't know about detailed description of something that happened in the final season?" And I was like, "Whoa, no spoilers," which should have been enough, but it wasn't. Every week he'd come back in and spoil it for me even more, and every week I would tell him to please not spoil it for me. This went on for about 2 months, between the regularity of it and the smirk he'd get on his face every time I asked him not to tell me spoilers. I knew he was doing it on purpose. So one week he came in and bought a big pile of comics he'd ordered, and I waited for him to pay, and then, instead of bagging them up, I found them all out on the counter. You see, I read a lot of comics, especially back then. I read every new comic that was published by Marvel and DC, and then some, as they came out. So it just so happened that I had read every comic he had just purchased. I proceeded to point to each comic and spoil every single one of them. He didn't talk to me about Stargate after that. So it's like, it reminds me of like a episode of Big Bang Theory, TVH. Like just a bunch of nerds nerding out and trying to out nerd each other.
Yeah, I started watching it again. The seventh? No, I would say seventh time. More like fourth, fifth time.
It's been a while. Like I haven't watched it fully through, but I kind of understand like how the story goes.
Yeah, because you always hear it or you like listen a little bit here and there when I'm watching it.
Yeah, I like it. I think
It's
they're
really
pretty.
funny.
Yeah, it's like a lot of good comfort characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's one
But
of my
you
top
should
shows.
watch How I Met Your Mother.
I did watch it. I started watching it and then I stopped watching it when what's his name, Barney?
Yeah.
When they broke up or something, or yeah, because they keep breaking up and getting back together, breaking up again, and like it got annoying.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I think in general it's like a funny show. Like it's just like
Oh yeah, it's
I enjoy
funny,
it.
but I think Big Bang Theory is much better.
Yeah, I think I put them around the same caliber, I guess.
Well, my
Maybe-
top show is always Friends, though. That's my number one.
Yeah, Friends is okay. I have to be in the mood for that.
No, I love Friends, and then Big Bang Theory comes after.
Bing bing.
Bang bang.
But yeah, this is what it reminds me of. I don't like people who. Well, I mean, I don't really care actually.
Me either.
I'm honest. Yeah, people who spoil things for me, I don't really mind. Like whenever a new movie comes out, I always like look around on TikTok and I search specifically for spoilers. Like, I'm like, I want to know what happens in this part.
I don't really care. I mean, sometimes depending if I'm like really into a movie, like for example, Jurassic Park, like I wouldn't want to see any spoilers, like or you wouldn't. I wouldn't want nobody to tell me because I love Jurassic Park and all their movies.
Nah, I love spoilers.
But some stuff that I don't really care about, like I'll be like, yeah, it's fine. You can tell me.
But yeah, even though I love spoilers, I would never be the one to spoil it for other people. If I could try, like I say something accidentally, like it's an accident, but I don't go out of my way to be like, oh, this is what happens in the end.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not like that. I think that's just
That's
not okay.
Because like I know a lot of people will like care about that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and even if they don't, just be a decent human being. Don't tell them a spoiler. The top comment is, "This is the epitome of what I come for this sub for."
Yeah. And yeah, the sub that this story is from is called r/petty revenge, and yeah, this is pretty petty.
Yeah,
I would also say it sounds a little fake too, but then again, I'm not in the comic book culture thing, so I don't know how people like interact with each other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Do you think what Opie did was right though, to like kind of throw it back at him?
I wouldn't say it's right because eye for an eye is never good, but I mean, it's harmless. It's not like he's hurting anybody.
What if he like spiraled the other guy? Because he just bought like hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of comic books, and now he can't read them and enjoy them anymore because they were all spoiled for him.
Well, he did the same thing, so he knew. He knew exactly what he was getting back.
That was karma.
Yeah, I mean, you mess with somebody, you can't expect nothing to happen most of the time. No,
That's crazy. So final verdict.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's the asshole like completely. I would just say he just got what he gave.
Yeah, I mean it's a like asshole-ish thing to do, but I feel like it's super harmless.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. All right, so the next story is, am I the asshole for letting a family fail an escape room on purpose? I, male 24, work on escape for a second job. And throughout the weekend, I'm usually by myself as there aren't a lot of bookings for rooms. One of these times, I had a booking for a group of 7. The group gets here, and it's a mother, 4 daughters, and 2 boyfriends of the daughters. All of them appear to be at least 20 or older, except for the youngest daughter, who, at the oldest daughter, was around 13. I take the family back to the room and explain everything, then let them start the room. The second I sit down in the control to watch them, I notice only the boyfriends who have never done an escape room, and the mom seem excited to look around. The daughters are looking around eventually and even find one of the puzzles for the room. They start working on it, and not even 2 minutes go by, the mom swoops in and takes the puzzle. It makes them go look elsewhere as she worked on it. That was how the rest of the room went. The kids would find the stuff, and the mom would take over and make them leave. The youngest, getting fed up with this, decides to just sit down and wait for the first part of the room. This escape room has 4 separate rooms for them to go through. After the group sets to the 3rd room, the mom storms into the first room and tells the little girl to stop pouting and come join them. Then before she can respond, the mother tells her, "You're ruining this experience for everyone. I wish I didn't bring you." I was flabbergasted. How could anyone speak to their daughter that way? Eventually, they're nearing the end, and all they need is to find the key fob to open the door and escape. In their haste, they miss it, and the mom keeps asking if I can give them a clue to where it is. Here's where I might have been an asshole. They had already used all three of their clues, and I was feeling petty. So I told them that unfortunately I wasn't allowed to tell them any clues on this location, even though I totally could. And my boss would have preferred I told them. But I was alone, so I decided I wasn't going to help. 30 seconds left, and the little girl who had been yelled at by her mother found the key fob they needed, smiled, put it back where she found it, and walked away without a word to her family. The timer goes off. I came back to the room saying they did a good job, but unfortunately weren't able to escape. The mom was pissed and started blaming the kids, but eventually calmed down, thanked me for all the help, and left. The kids slowly followed, and the last one to leave was the youngest daughter. I asked her why she didn't show them the key she found, and she smiled and said, "Well, my mom already said I ruined the experience for her, for I made sure she couldn't win." After they left, I thought about it and kind of felt like an asshole. So I came on here to ask if I was an asshole.
Nah, that's the rules. No more clues.
The mother needs help.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a game, so it's not supposed to be serious. But yeah,
That's a weird dynamic, though. I mean, when you go into the escape rooms or when you're doing activities in general, you want the kids to figure out the activity, or want them to do it individually, or want them to show their skills and figure out by themselves. That's why you're there, but work together as a team. But she was just like, "Oh, you found the clues, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna figure it out." Like, that's not how it works. You should try to be involve the kids more.
yeah, it's probably just she has a very me-centric way of seeing things. Like even the kids are kind of fed up with it.
Yeah, that's why the youngest daughter was like, she didn't like the experience. Why? Because the mother didn't allow her to put her opinion and try to figure out together. Sure, find clues, but the fun of the game is finding clues and then putting it together
As a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think she was an asshole, or he was. The daughter, the daughter could have said something, but I mean, she was fed up too. So that's outcome is not the asshole, and the kid is brilliant. She obviously is used to dealing with her mom.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it is technically disrespectful to do that, like the little sister, or whatever, the little kid. But it seems like she's had like a lot of experience with the mother and her acting up like that. So this is probably like one of her little ways just to get back.
Yeah, I mean, the mother needs more parenting books or something, or she needs help with, no, I wouldn't say, I think nobody's perfect being a parent. I mean, I'm not a parent, so I can't say, but I think it's always good to grow. As you have kids, you can't expect to be a better parent and not do the, your work, your own self growth, and be, a good mom or whatever, or a good dad. I think it's important to grow as your kids grow too. So I think she needs some growing room there.
Yeah, I mean, and now like I wouldn't say like a truly awful experience, but like having the escape room not be like fun, like the kids got nothing out of it, and they probably wouldn't go back to another one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely not. I would never go in there. Even if, like, let's say I was older and then my friends, like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I would just always remember the experience and the sour taste it left in my mouth. Like, I wouldn't go back in there either.
Yeah, a lot of like what parents do with like kids, with their kids growing up, just like influences the lives of their children and like how they see things.
Yeah, definitely.
So your final verdict?
I wouldn't say you're the asshole. I mean, the daughter decided not to say anything, even though she found it. It was her decision.
Yeah. Yeah, OP was not even a little bit of an asshole. And the final story is overheard in the department store dressing room. I was in a Nordstrom dressing room when what I presume was a woman and her daughter entered the one next to me. The mom said, "Before we try on clothes, I want you to give yourself a compliment." And the girl, inaudible, as if she was very quiet, making me think she was shy and or didn't have a lot of confidence. And then the mom said, "It's important that we feel good about ourselves. Now, let's see what you picked out." As the mom of a 16-year-old, I very much appreciate this.
I thought it was a good note to end. I think it's important to have a good positive image of your body, and regardless of what, society tells you what your body shape is or what isn't, that, you should still have your confidence, because what you have, your scale number doesn't make you or break you. So I thought it was really nice to hear, especially with, like, small younger kids. It's such like a heavy burden they carry about being, extra large or being in this and that, just trying to keep up with images from internet or social media. So the top comment is just, now that's good parenting. Yeah. So I think, with something something such heartwarming like this, it's a good thing to show your daughters, or, even your sons, that it's okay. You should be confident. So that's all the stories we have today. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode. Check out our website, www.yappings.com, and join our mail list for updates. If you love our podcast and want to support us, subscribe and share to your friends and family. We will appreciate this so much.
Also, we have a Facebook group called Am I the Asshole? Relationship and Family Drama, linked in the description. Join so you can share Am I the Asshole posts you like, or share your own stories for us all to judge. We may even read a few posts in one of our episodes if you're lucky.
Thank you. Bye.